Hey there, I'm Boochom, welcome back to my channel. Today, it's not a secret that the Nintendo Switch is a little old. You know, the console released in 2017, and even though that's only been about 7 years, that's really old given the average lifespan of a console is around 5 to 6 years. So, the Switch is really old at this point. He's like a grandpa. That's also not to mention that the poor thing is running hardware that is significantly older than that. I think the chip in the Nintendo Switch is, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, it's 2014 or 15? So it was already old to begin with. And when I played Breath of the Wild for the first time, I remember seeing like little frame skips and being like, wow, this is kind of The Switch has always been plagued by having underprepared hardware for the modern era of video games, which is why I think it's about time we get an upgrade. So this video is going to cover not any actual specs that have been leaked or revealed, because I don't know about you guys, I don't pay attention to leaks and rumors, because for the most part it's just like guys on 4chan posting what they want out of a thing, and I don't think that's legitimate, so I tend to just keep to myself and get what we get when they release it. Hey you, thanks for watching this far. Just wanted to say, if you're not subscribed already, a majority of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so you can click the button down in the description to subscribe to my channel and get notified for all of my new videos. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the rest of the video. What do I want from a new Nintendo Switch? Well, I think that Nintendo can't really do away with the hybridization handheld and console thing that they've got going on here. I think that this is kind of like a genius idea. You know, Nintendo has always had like a handheld and then like a console. For example, they had the GameCube and they had the Game Boy Advance. They had the Wii and the DS and the 3DS. You know what I mean? They've always had these two branches, but they kind of had to divide and conquer this way, you know? They had two different markets that they had to focus on, whereas with the Nintendo Switch, they combined it all, which is a genius move. Genius! Because that allows them to put all hands on deck, and it allows them to get all of this talent for all of these different kinds of games together on the same place. It's crazy. It's incredible. How that nobody else thought of this first is insane to me. I'm a man. With this new console, I'm going to predict a few things here, right? This is a predictions video, so I'm going to predict a few things. You know, a prediction. The first thing I'm going to predict is the release date. Now, I think we're going to get some kind of a reveal here in the next few weeks, if not in the next few days. Time of recording is February 17th. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a reveal here at the end of February, if not February, the start of March. And I think that this console will be available to buy either in March, like with the original Switch, or in July, because July is just like a month where things typically pop off. That's like, you know, around the summertime. That's around where E3 used to happen. I think that'd be a good time for it. Another thing I'm going to predict here is that this console is not going to be called like the Switch 2. I don't think they're going to do away with the Switch idea, the Switch title. I think that they're going to call this thing the Super Nintendo Switch, because it sounds dope. It's a callback to the SNES, and much like the jump from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, I imagine this next console is going to be more so not jumping out of bounds, and it's really just going to refine what they've already set up with the Switch. That's essentially what it should be anyways, right? I don't really want anything new from Nintendo. In fact, I really like the Switch. I think it's almost perfect. It just needs a little bit more beef up. It needs beefed. You know, it needs some more beef to it, some more decent hardware. We've got a lot of games today that the Nintendo Switch is just incapable of running. And if the Switch could run all of these games, and it could run all of them at a decent frame rate and a decent resolution, then more gamers would be on board with it. I know a lot of Nintendo gamers like to say it's not about the graphics, and it's usually not about the graphics, but for a majority of the gamers in the world, it is about graphics. That's why these games like God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, listen, these are quality games, but they're beautiful as well. And a lot of gamers will see this beauty in these games, and they will not settle for anything less. And that's just kind of a fact. You know, people like they pretty graphics. They like the graphics. That's essentially what I want out of this new console, right? I don't want a new thing. I want the same thing, but beefed up. Hence, the Super Nintendo Switch. I think it would be a great idea. Just saying. I'm sure this has already been talked about before, but that's what I think. That's what I'm betting on. I really hope that with this new console that Nintendo leans into this old thing they had going on with the 3DS and with the DS before that, where there's just a lot of customization options. You know what I mean? With the Switch, there is a little bit of customization. Where's my Switch at? I got the Zelda OLED model. So I've got the Zelda Joy-Cons, but like in addition, I've got like some red Joy-Cons that I have. I've got the original neon and red ones, neon blue and red ones from the first release. So I think it's a really, like, it's cool that we have these options. I just wish that there was more to it. For example, on your Nintendo Switch, under your settings, there's a tab called Themes, and there are only 2 themes available, and there have only ever been 2 themes available for the Switch. It's the light mode and the dark mode, and if you use the light mode, you're wrong. The 3DS, in comparison, has, like, you have got customizable back plates and front plates, you've got themes on the inside. Where's my other 3DS? I'll show you both. Here's something that, like, really exemplifies what I mean. This is my new Nintendo 3DS, right? I've got this Pikachu protective case on it, but let me take that off so you can see the original faceplate. It's a gold Zelda edition 3DS. It's got like a customizable faceplate. If you want to, you can take this off and swap it with a different one. You can buy them from third-party sites, and I'm pretty sure Nintendo manufactures some faceplates too that you can use. Also, if you get a new 3DS, you can just swap the faceplates out for your new one. And I really feel like this is something that Nintendo's just been lacking. Here's a blue 3DS. You know, you got this is a region-locked American Nintendo 3DS, but we've got a Japanese set of the faceplates on here. This was originally, I don't know what it was originally, this was a gift. But, you see what I'm saying? For some reason with the Switch, we've just got, like, no customization options. Like, we've got some decent, you know, revisions that came with some fancy colorful Joy-Cons, but for the most part, this is, like, barely noticeable on this. This is a limited edition console, and you can barely notice it. It's got, like, little rings on it. It's for Tears of the Kingdom. You can kind of see it better in person. It's not showing up on camera very well. A big part of the Nintendo 3DS was the ability to customize it to see, you know, make it your own. Whereas I feel like we lost a little bit of that with the Switch. Like, yeah, you can put different Joy-Cons on there, and you can put different controllers, and you can, you know, switch it up however you want to do. Having this limited of customization options is really not that great. Another thing I really think Nintendo needs to focus on with the new console is backwards compatibility. The Nintendo Switch is pretty good at what it's got. You know, it's got some GameCube games that have been remastered for it, but for the most part, there's no backwards compatibility unless you're paying for Nintendo Switch Online, at which point you get access to more retro stuff. There are no GameCube games, there are no Wii games, and there are no Wii U games that are available natively on the console unless you're paying for NSO or you're paying for a remake or remaster. And while we all know I'm a big fan of remakes and remasters, I just feel like there should be more accessibility there for older games so we can, you know, preserve them for, you know, future gamers. I'm sure there are plenty of gamers who would love to play the games on the GameCube that I grew up with, like your Billy Hatcher, like your Mario Sunshine. The GameCube had a great library, and it's just kind of sad that they're kind of leaving it behind. So yes, on a new console, I think we need to focus a little bit more on backwards compatibility. And what I mean when I say that is that the console needs to play the Nintendo Switch games on whatever new hardware is available, right? If I can't play Breath of the Wild on this thing, there's not really a point in me getting it, is what I'm really trying to say. Another thing I think that they need to focus more on with this thing are the more handheld elements. You know, this is not just a home console, it's also a handheld device. It's, you know, a portable. So I feel like they need to add in more features that will incentivize you to use this as a portable instead of like a home console. What do you mean, Buchom? What do you mean by this? Well, I'll tell you. On the 3DS, we had this really, really easy, simple feature that they could re-implement on the Switch, and it would make everybody happy. I don't know a single person who would not be happy with this. It's the Street Pass. If you had a 3DS, you would just leave it on sleep mode, throw it in your backpack, and if you pass somebody else with a 3DS, your 3DS would like send data to them, and it would register that you passed, and then you could interact with each other in like different ways, depending on like, you know, what games you played. There was a Street Pass Me Plaza, and if you Street Pass with enough people, they would show up in your plaza, and you could see all the people that you'd passed by. If they would implement that back onto the Switch, I don't know how they would do it, but that's one of the things that I mean, right? Just incentivize bringing the console with you whenever you go outside, if you go outside. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the next part, the most exciting part. We're going to talk about launch titles for this thing. What is a Nintendo console without its launch titles? It's nothing. You know, Nintendo needs these launch titles in order to sell consoles, and they need these console-selling titles in order to, you know, get the damn thing out of the door. Example, for the Switch, we had Breath of the Wild, and then we immediately followed that up with Mario Odyssey, and I feel like they're going to do a similar thing here with this next console. I think it's a little too soon to say we're getting a new Zelda game because, you know, Tears of the Kingdom just came out, but I would not be surprised at all if we saw sort of like a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Deluxe kind of deal, where it's just Tears of the Kingdom but with like a little bit of added stuff in there, like maybe a DLC story or like something like that. Just a little bit of sugar on top, and then, you know, maybe it runs 60 FPS and is at a stable resolution for the whole time. That would be perfect, I think. In addition, they also probably are going to need some other little games to throw in there. For example, I wouldn't be surprised if we got an Animal Crossing as a launch title, because New Horizons has kind of not been touched on since it dropped. We got one DLC for it, and other than that, it's kind of been scarce with updates. So I am more than willing to bet that the team that worked on that game are probably also working on a new game. As for Mario, we really did just get a new Mario game, and we've been getting a lot of new Mario games, by the way. So I really don't see a new Mario being like a launch title, but that would be really bad, because usually Mario sells consoles. So my thought process here is, since we just got 2D Mario in Super Mario Wonder, we may get a Mario Wonder upscale, or we might get a Super Mario 3D adventure, kind of like Mario Odyssey. I also think we may get another 3D platformer, which I will keep vague, so that way you can watch this title card up here and get what I'm trying to tell you. If you click on this video, you can see what game I think would be a decent launch title. Also, obviously, for launch titles, we're going to need a Mario Kart, because there is no other game in the history of video games, period, I'm going to say this on record, that sells as well as Mario Kart. Literally everybody likes Mario Kart. I've never seen a single Switch owner not have Mario Kart, so it's kind of like one of those games that if you buy the Switch, you also get Mario Kart. It's just how it goes. Everybody likes Mario Kart. There's not a single soul on this earth that does not like Mario Kart. You know what else I think we need? More ports. That's right, more ports of Switch games. But I think that we need to get more of these original Switch titles with like DLCs thrown in. Like I was talking about with Tears of the Kingdom. Like kind of like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had all of the DLC from the Wii game and then they put in more. Maybe they could do something like Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which was pretty good, or they just added in like a bunch of additional stuff to it. They could do the same thing with other Switch games, like Mario Odyssey, for example. I could easily see Mario Odyssey Deluxe just being like an HD upscale of Mario Odyssey with like a couple levels thrown in. That would be awesome. I would buy that in a heartbeat. That would be really cool. I wouldn't buy it for $60 now, but I would buy it. That'd be like an easy, like, what, $40, $50 game? I'd pay for that. I just wanted to put this little plug here at the end of this video to say thank you for the response on my last video. I mean, the amount of views on that one video blew me away. You know, I do not get that kind of attention on this channel. Like, I usually am excited when I get like 200 views. That got 10 times that. So I just wanted to say right here, thank you so much for even clicking on it in the first place, guys. I really do appreciate it. Like, it's very rewarding to finally be able to make a video that can resonate with people, and that's just kind of, I guess, the goal, is to make stuff that people like, and I'm happy that I was finally able to do that. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, guys, that's about it. Just wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I am gonna keep making videos. We got a Nintendo 64 controller or DIY tutorial coming next week, and I hope you guys are ready for it. As always, thank you very much for watching.